Hello, I am going to be talking today about weathering and surface area. So in our unit currently in Earth Science, we're discussing the ways in which different particles can be weathered and eroded. And first I want to make very clear the difference between weathering, erosion, and deposition. These three terms are often confused, especially weathering and erosion. So often they're used interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. Weathering is the breaking down of materials, and that happens in place. So there are lots of things that can cause weathering. Think of anything that could break up a rock. That could be an animal digging, that could be wind, that could absolutely be water. We also learn that the two main types of weathering are physical and chemical weathering, and then there are lots of different types of each: physical weathering and chemical weathering. Now, erosion is different because erosion is the transporting of materials from one place to another. Now here, to make that clear, I've shown a hill or a mountain. However, that doesn't have to be the case. It could be on flat land as well, because wind can carry away particles that have been weathered on flat areas. But erosion is movement. Weathering is the breaking down. So after we have weathering and erosion, finally we'll have deposition. When you deposit something, for example, money. If you deposit money in a bank, you put it in the bank, and hopefully it stays there until you need it. Well, that's basically what's happening with deposition. That's where the sediments and particles that have been weathered and then eroded finally find a place to stay for a while. At that point, they might become part of the long-term rock cycle. Those sediments could then be compacted and turned into sedimentary rocks and then metamorphic rocks, or they might eventually be carried further and eroded further. So deposition is kind of a temporary, probably, landing place for the sediments, which have been weathered and then carried through erosion. So the reason that surface area is important is because surface area is directly related to the rate of weathering. If something has a larger surface area, then it's going to weather more quickly. Now, that doesn't mean it has a larger size. In fact, if I took this box and broke it up into 3 smaller boxes, that would expose more surface area. And because there would be another side here and another side here going through the box, and it would be broken up, and I would then have 3 cubes. So when you break something up, the result is more surface area, and the result is also quicker weathering.